The little girl kept wiping the tears from the corners of her eyes, mumbling that she was sorry the injured cat had been saved. But the girl was crying so hard, because it was the first time she had ever cheated on her best friend. 8-year-old girl and cat have a touching fairy tale story. The girl's name is Bena. 3 years ago, she came to live in the countryside with her parents. As an introvert, she didn't make any friends. Bena felt very lonely. That's when a cat came into her world. She played with her every day and entertained her. As time went by, they became best friends too. The girl named her Dora. Dora's presence not only healed the girl's loneliness, but also helped her through a difficult time. But then, half a month ago, Dora disappeared. Bena searched the area over and over again. Finally, in an abandoned hut, she found a wounded Dora. She cried out and hugged her for help. Although Dora was eventually rescued, but it was at this moment that her heart changed and she stayed hidden under the roof of the house. And that's when there was a barrier between them. She began to close herself off and became hypervigilant towards humans. But Bena always believed in their friendship, because the cat was her first friend when she came here. Every day after school, she would come and keep Dora company, just as Dora had accompanied the girl 3 years earlier. Since he couldn't get close to the cat, Bena had to mix anti-inflammatory medicine into her food and bring it to her best friend. With Bena's persistence day after day, Dora finally opened her heart to her. When she heard Bena's voice, she immediately crawled out from under the eaves. At this point we can see that the cat can no longer walk properly on one leg. She gobbled up the food in her bowl. Bena smiled with relief at this sight, because her efforts have finally come to fruition. When a stranger passes by on the road, Dora still hides under the roof in fear. Perhaps she still couldn't get rid of the shadow in her mind. After that, Bena came to visit her every day after school, but it was only when it was quiet that Dora dared to come out cautiously. When Bena tried to reach out and touch her, Dora shied away. A few days later, with the help of an enthusiastic neighbor, Bena climbed up to the roof for the first time. Dora came out slowly when she heard Bena's voice. She fell to the ground and pouted. It was a moment when she finally opened her heart to the girl. A light shone once more in their hearts, and Bena smiled a long-awaited smile. At night, the temperature plummeted and Bena found a pink blanket, and then gave it to her friend under the roof. A small blanket, but a hot warmth at that moment. From then on, Dora was visited by Bena every day after school. Whenever he heard the girl's voice, the cat would come out to greet her friend. Then she would play with her. Perhaps in the cat's world, only the girl is the best for him. In order to treat the cat's leg injury, the rescue team planned to do it the right way. After a few calls from Bena, Dora slowly comes out from under the roof, then a little bit towards the girl's direction. Dora was guided into the cage by Bena. As the cage door closed, the cat was successfully rescued, and she seems to be in shock. She kept banging her body against the glass. Bena was in tears as she saw this scene. She was crying and saying sorry. The girl felt that she had cheated on her best friend and betrayed her trust. With Bena's reassurance, Dora calmed down, although the cat was successfully rescued. But the girl was left with tears of remorse. With the help of rescuers, the kitten was taken to the vet hospital. After a series of tests, the doctor said the cat needed to be amputated. Jella was a little disappointed when she heard the news. She went to her friend and comforted her. She told her friend that she would always be there for her. 2 years later, the girl has grown much taller and she still comes to her old friend first thing every day after school. And the cat would silently wait for the girls still under the same roof. Nothing seemed to have changed. It was as if everything was different again. It was clear that Bena and the cat had grown closer. They both thought of each other as their best friends. The next day, when the girl came to visit the cat again, there were unexpectedly more kittens under the roof. Bena happily told us Dora had started a family. The black cat was her husband, and the other 2 were their children. One is black and resembles the male cat, and the other one looks exactly like herself. The 4 of them live happily together. They are also very close to the girl, because Bena is always looking after her. If there was a day when the girl didn't come, Dora would be on the roof looking away, until the sun went down. At night, took the family to Bena's house. A few cats kept a good watch outside the girl's window. They wouldn't leave the roof until dawn. Early in the morning, Bena opened the window to see the cats crouching outside. She happily began to prepare breakfast for them. Bena said that Dora would often bring his family to see her. Whenever she is depressed, the cat always tries to cheer herself up. From the first moment we met, to the moment we fell in love, the cat's companionship has lasted throughout the girl's childhood. She went from being an introverted girl to a cheerful and optimistic one. The story of Bena and the cat soon became a local legend. the rescue team gave the girl a special gift. They were going to create a cat playground for her on the roof of her house. She said with a smile, "Dora will love these toys." In the afternoon, several cats appeared on the roof. Dora was intrigued by the toys for the first time. From then on, the cats have their own playground. The reporter asked the girl why she didn't leave Dora at home. The girl said, "Of course I want to keep him with me forever, but I want her to have freedom and choice. Dora is my best friend." 5 years later, when the team found Bena again, she had transformed from that innocent girl to a plucky teenager. The reporter then asked the girl about her situation. It turned out that a few years ago, due to schooling, she had to move from the countryside to a city thousands of miles away. The girl learned from her mother that since she had left, Dora had kept watch on the roof of the building every day. Until a year later, she never appeared again. The last time they saw each other was 4 summers ago. The girl said she had searched the village countless times but could not find Dora. She guessed that Dora had gone to the other side. Now Bena also feeds some stray cats regularly. The girl tells us that she will never forget their friendship, because 10 years ago, all the students at school alienated and ridiculed her. Only a stray cat was willing to become his friend. She will always be grateful and remember this friendship. Animals love people unconditionally, and there are not many such people. Perhaps to many people, the moral of a pet's existence is just companionship. But I think for Bena, a cat not only cured her of her childhood loneliness and low self-esteem, it also had a huge impact on her whole life. And Bena's kindness also brought warmth to the cat's life, a friendship that crosses racial boundaries to keep them warm and heal each other. I believe that those who have love in their hearts will also receive love in return.